Right, well, welcome back. This is the dual record player 506. You know, I was saying that the 505, this is the 506, so this is the one up from that series. And when this particular machine arrived, it wasn't in a bad state, but it certainly didn't work. So partly because there was no belt, and also one or two other things needed a bit of adjustment. So I've actually sourced now a new stylus. Now the stylus on this one is one of those pointed affairs. Here we go, you just about see that in there, and it's the dual, I think it's, where are we, dual, here we go, DN149S. So I had to make sure I got the right one on eBay, and I've done that. I've got one here. I think they go under several different, you just about see that in focus, several different numbers. This one also comes under G486, I think. Here we go, as well. DN149S, which is what I've got. 5051 as well. So they all fit the same one. Extremely small cartridge on this machine. I don't know what the output is, but be quite small actually, though it works all right with my friend the Trio test amplifier, which we know I have standing on its side there to save space on the bench, and through the very nice Technics speakers, which we'll get to when I get that far with the refurbishment on this machine. But it is extremely small, and you can see it's a very small cartridge. It fits into a little housing there, and you can just about see my fingers moving it there. It does slip out, and then this piece slots up inside. So, and then you'd unscrew it, drop it out by the use of this screw on top. And of course, it's got the usual drop system here. This particular one actually has a strobe adjustment, and then what you do, you set the pitch by the center knob here that runs a belt. I can just about see that with my finger, the end of my finger there, and you can see that moving. And what it does, it moves the cam, which is, I just point there, there's a cam there, and it moves that just slightly up and down, which increases the tension, so onto the 45 area, because it's slightly chamfered at the edges. When you switch from 45 to 33, you actually move this little bit here, and then that moves this piece up and down on here. On the one I've got in the office, the 505, it's sticking slightly, and I've got to remove it and give it a bit of oil. I've already done that, but it's still sticking, so I have to take the turntable off, to which isn't all that. It's a bit of a fiddle. These actually come. I'm trouble finding space for everything at the moment. These come with this very nice turntable, and the actual is still on the others where the spindle is actually separate from the turntable platter itself. This one's attached, so you have to release that small. Just put this back. You have to release that small stay here, I suppose you would call it, with the screw at the end, and then that moves in and out. And I've basically degreased this last weekend, and I had a bit of time, so I need to do that. It runs on a very nice motor. I'm just going to see if I can turn her over for you. There we go. So you've got this large motor here, slightly different to the other ones. It's a bigger motor, and then the strode light comes off the main block for the power, and then you've got the usual adjustment here and arm lift. Now the other thing I've also purchased for these machines is a new gold set and copper insert set of RCA plugs on eBay. These are so cheap, about £1, because these ones are looking a bit rusty, and the connectivity is important. The one in the office I've noticed that the cabling here is a bit dodgy. There's a build-up of a power surge when you switch Mr. Trio on. It hums, and then if I touch it, it goes away. So what I do on that one is always have the volume in the 0 position before I switch on, and then you don't get that sudden power surge. So I've got to do an adjustment on that. I thought perhaps it was the cartridge connections at first, but I managed to fiddle around and work out where the noise was coming from. on that basis. So there's those to do as well, and on that one. And I've got a new belt as well. This is the new belt, and it's a very small belt. This is quite a tight fit, but it's the right one, but it's quite a tight fit. I used the one from a spare one, which was fairly worn out, and then I've bought a new one, so that's got to go on as well. And as I say, I've got to fit the new stylus at the end just to double test. There was actually no, on the one that was in it, and I had to get a magnifying glass out, there was actually no, you can see that, no diamond tip at all. It was completely worn down. No wonder they said it didn't work. All it wanted was a new diamond tip stylus, a new belt, and a good service. So there'll be a bit of a changeover, because I always, whenever I have these machines, I always make sure that I road test them well before I put them on eBay and sell them on. And I've successfully sold the last one at profit, so because they're going at a premium of about £65 up now, which is surprising when I bought this one for a couple of tenors, £20 I think it was, including the postage, because it wasn't working. So it's been I think an investment I've made, and then I'm going to recoup that and then obviously put that back into some other projects. But anyway, I just thought I'd update you where we are with that, and speak to you all very soon.